Hello and welcome to what is now our weekly update from Legana Christian Church. I wanted to let you know about a couple of things. Firstly, the new social gathering restrictions raised a question mark for our church and several other churches around Tasmania about the implications of that for our live streaming. As it turns out, with a lot of negotiating and discussing with the state government, we have been given an opportunity to apply to the Department of Health, and it will be the Director of Public Health who will give the final approval, and we're waiting on that, and I expect that we will be granted approval to continue our live streaming the way we have been doing it, because the way we do it is a little bit more sophisticated than somebody with an iPhone in their lounge room or at their kitchen table. What we're doing involves people involved in the directing, people involved in doing some of the other things as well, sound and data and things. So we have a certain minimum number that we need to be able to do it. So hopefully, God willing, we'll be able to do it, because one of the things that I really want to do is to continue to do what we do live. Not pre-record it, but have it live. And so while we are looking at just getting our worship team to record some things, which we'll be working on over the next week or so, so that we have a bank of things just in case. But in the meantime, we want to be live. So this Sunday will look very similar, we hope, to last Sunday, except that we're probably going to do a couple of live crosses. And so we live crossed to Donna last Sunday, and that went really well. And so I remind you that if you have a prayer request, then please submit that prayer request through Facebook inbox or email us, or you can do it through YouTube inbox as well. You can do it through various means. You could, if you are friends with Donna on Facebook, and who isn't, you could inbox her directly, and we will make sure that we will pray for your prayer requests. If you're watching the live stream after the live stream, you can still do it. We send those prayer requests out through our care team, and we are looking to make sure that everyone receives the care that they need, and to be able to pray for people's needs as well. All right, we had a live Zoom call with the Reasons to Believe team in Los Angeles through the week, and that went really, really well. In other words, the technology is just outstanding. So what that means is I'm inviting you to join us Thursday, the 9th of April at 8 a.m. as you're having breakfast, and join us for what would have been a breakfast at the Tailway Centre, but now it's going to be breakfast in your home, so, or wherever you will be that morning at 8 o'clock, as we're all trying to socially isolate. Okay, so that's Easter. Easter's going to go ahead. We anticipate that's going to still be a really great event with Dr. Hugh Ross. He's just written a book, which we'll talk a little bit about, but he's also got something to say about COVID-19, and why would a good creator allow something like the coronavirus? Well, he's got something to say about that, so we'll talk to him about that as well. This Sunday we'll also be trialling a live interactive chat for the kids. So the kids will be able to interact with their kids' church leader via a live chat mechanism. You'll see it's called Talk2, TAWK.TO. You'll see a little envelope, a little green envelope on the kids' church pages. It's only on the kids' church pages, and as your children, parents, if they have a question, they want to ask something, they can use that to talk directly with their teacher, and it's not a public thing. It just goes to the teacher. So that's that as well. All right, we are doing what we can to make sure that our pastoral care is reaching people where they're at. And so Pastor Donna has been working really, really hard to ensure that home group leaders are chipping in and helping as well. And I heard from Blair today with his group at Riverside, who have had a great time with Zoom let's see, today's Thursday, so they met last night, and so did Tom. Tom and Julie had a great time. I heard a great report from their home group as well, meeting on Zoom, and just being able to connect with one another in that medium. In fact, one of the feedback that I got from Blair is that people said, boy, this is actually better than being in someone's home, because there are people who perhaps might not have been able to get to a home group who can get to the Zoom meeting, and so they're actually able to participate, maybe for the first time in weeks. So that's really, really encouraging to hear that. All right, before I mentioned that again, this Sunday we'll do communion as well, virtual communion. So if you have that ready, you can join with us when you do that. I'll let you know that last Sunday we had just over 1,000 devices watching our live stream. Now, Facebook tell us that for every device there's at least maybe 1 point something or other people, maybe up to 2 people watching. And we're getting reports, and maybe you want to send through a photo of your family watching, because we're being told that families are watching it on their smart TVs, just as we did on Sunday when we came home. We watched it just to see what it looked like, and I think it came up pretty well. But just to let you know, there's a lot more people watching, and we welcome people to do that. And as it's now becoming more difficult for churches to live stream because of the requirements, and fortunately we have a building that allows us to socially distance ourselves with the number of people that we require to do the live stream, so we're okay. I think we also have the building sanitized just before the live stream as well, so there's cleaners who come in and do that. So there's lots of boxes we had to tick in order to make our application, and I trust that the Department of Health will recognise that. So we'll also be doing the live cross for the prayer thing, as I've mentioned, and we'll be live. Everything will be live. Even the worship team, God willing, will be live as well. All right, before I go, I just wanted to mention I'm going to put together a video on my YouTube channel about some of the wacky stuff that's going around now about the COVID-19 virus, and is it prophesied in the book of Revelation. Now, of course, I've written quite extensively on the book of Revelation, and my website, andrewcorbett.net, which is where I'll be probably writing something about and posting there, is dedicated to understanding Bible prophecy. So it's one of the fields that I work a lot in. And what I have to say is, in response to, I had, I think, 4 people asking me yesterday, have you seen the latest thing flying around on the internet about Bill Gates being the Antichrist, and he's coming up with an inoculation against COVID virus, and we're all concerned. You know, people are saying now, he's the Antichrist, and he's actually it's not an inoculation. It's not what he's going to do is he's going to inject us all with a microchip, and that'll be the mark of the beast. That is stupid beyond imagination. Now, I'll give you some reasons if you want, but just let me tell you, that is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. And I've heard some pretty stupid things. That is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Here's why. When the book of Revelation was written, it was written to a people who were under incredible pressure, and John says, you will read this and you will be encouraged and strengthened. Added to that, when it talks about the mark of the beast in Revelation 13, there's 2 beasts. Not 1, 2. That's worth considering. And secondly, he says, with wisdom, you, the readers at the time of the writing of the book of Revelation, which was around about 65 AD, you will know who I'm talking about, or who is being referred to here. So whoever was the Antichrist, which, by the way, that term does not occur in the book of Revelation, whoever that is identified as, had to have been in existence, alive at the time of the writing of the book of Revelation. Added to that, the number associated with him is not 666, it is 666, which is called Gematria, which is how people were often identified with the numerical value of the letters of their name added up to certain numbers, and that's called Gematria. And so that was a common thing that happened around the time of 1st century Rome, 65 AD, when Revelation was written. And John says, you'll know who I'm talking about. And for the most part, we can identify who he meant even today. And it's not Bill Gates, because there is no chance that someone living in 65 AD could decipher that to mean Bill Gates in the United States of America. Firstly, the United States of America didn't exist. And who the heck's Bill Gates in 65 AD? It's just absurd. It actually highlights that we need to be very, very careful how we interpret the Bible. If we're going to read the internet posts into the Bible, we're not reading the Bible very well at all. That's just by the way. All right, I hope you'll see me Sunday. I may not see you, unless you send me a photo. But I hope you see me, and I look forward to our time together this Sunday, April 5th, 2020. God bless you.